Before we begin, I want to quickly talk about edubirdie.com. If you are in school or college and are struggling with your academic papers, be sure to check them out. They are a professional essay writing service and can help you out in a big way. After an entire off-season of fans and analysts alike giving their takes and predictions for the season, we have finally been able to watch NBA teams go out and perform on a nightly basis for almost 2 weeks now. Because basketball is an intricate sport with actual people that need to perform on a nightly basis and not just some sort of automatic simulation based on perceived talent, not everything has been going as planned so far. Some teams look a lot better than many thought they would look, and others look a lot worse than many thought they would look, and the same goes for individual players as well. That brings us to the topic of today's video, where I will be going over 4 of the biggest surprises to start this NBA season so far. Before we start though, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave a like on the video, as all support is very much appreciated. Now with that being said, let's begin. The first surprise up on this list so far this season has been just how good Zach LaVine has been playing. He signed a massive 4-year, $78 million extension this summer with the Chicago Bulls, and the team received a lot of scrutiny for paying him so much money for that long. LaVine was coming off of an incredibly inefficient season where he didn't score the ball well or play anywhere close to good defense. However, in LaVine's defense, he was coming off a torn ACL, so it is very likely that he was still not 100% healthy. While the team was coming under heavy fire for this move, LaVine took all of the criticism in and turned it into motivation. He heard everything that people had to say and worked harder than ever to come back as a better player. In an interview, he said that he is ready to wake up the doubters. He also said, "I'm my hardest critic. There's nothing that any of you guys can say to me that I don't take harder upon myself. I go back and I critique my game every year. I'm used to people sleeping on me, and I'm also used to waking them up as well. I'm happy that I have this contract, and I'm happy that I have a little extra motivation to go out there and prove it to some people that don't believe in me. At the end of the day, I believe in myself, I believe in my work, and I'm going to show the city of Chicago it's a good choice and I'm here to stay. I'm going to be their guy, and I'm ready to do whatever to help this team get back to that spot." He is backing up those words in a big way now as well, as he started the year with 4 straight games with 30 or more points, and he has been incredibly efficient doing so. Through 5 games, he is averaging 29.8 points and shooting 53.8% from the field and 42.4% from 3, which are all excellent marks. He also looks just as bouncy as ever, like he did back in his Timberwolves days when he won back-to-back dunk contests. It is still early, but if he keeps producing anywhere near the level that he has been so far throughout the season, then maybe the Bulls knew what they were doing all along when they signed him long-term. Next up on this list of the biggest early surprises is the Oklahoma City Thunder, and how much they are struggling. The Thunder had what was seen by basically everyone unanimously as a phenomenal offseason, so with that came high expectations. They got rid of Carmelo Anthony, who had his worst season as a pro with the team by stagnating the offense and giving next to nothing on the defensive end, so that in and of itself was supposed to improve the team. They then added Dennis Schroeder and Nerlens Noel, giving the team some much-needed depth that they lacked previously. Plus, on top of all of that, Paul George chose to re-sign with the team without even meeting any other teams, showing his devotion to the team and the city, and his desire to build something great there. Throughout this whole stretch, Thunder fans were flying high on Cloud 9 until the season started. The Thunder are currently in last place in the Western Conference with a winless record of 0-4, and their play on the court has been very frustrating. It should be said that Russell Westbrook did miss the first 2 games of the season, but even when he returned, the team continued to struggle. Losing to the Kings was a disappointment, but then in their next game against the Celtics, they looked like they were ready to turn things around against a strong team until the fourth quarter hit. Westbrook and Paul George basically took turns bricking shot after shot, and their game-long lead disappeared and they lost again. Westbrook has been known to shoot his team out of games ever since his days with Kevin Durant, and Paul George isn't exactly known to come through in the clutch either, so this is a real concern. Head coach Billy Donovan needs to do a better job drawing up plays for the team as well, because the isolation ball that they always resort to down the stretch tends to shoot themselves in the foot. It has been frustrating, but it is still early, so the Thunder do have plenty of time to figure things out. The third thing on the list of early surprises to the season is the fact that the Sacramento Kings don't look terrible. Going into the season, they were the favorite by many, including myself, to be the worst team in the Western Conference. While it is obviously still early, they have been competing hard with very talented teams and have caught several of their opponents off guard with their play. On paper, they don't appear to have much talent at all, but when they step on the court, they play with great energy, and the chemistry this young group has built is just fun to watch. De'Aaron Fox has taken a big step forward after an up-and-down rookie season. While his three-point shot is still not quite there on a consistent basis, he is still scoring the ball efficiently, putting up 17.7 points per game while shooting 47.4% from the field. His assist total has also increased to 7 per game, showing that he's taking command of the Kings' offense and has brought it to new heights. Marvin Bagley was taken second overall in this year's draft, but yet he doesn't even start. While he must not love that situation at the moment, he is still making the most of his bench role by giving the team another scoring option and crashing the glass. The reason he's not starting is because newly acquired Nemanja Bjelica has come out of nowhere this season and shown off a much improved all-around game that was rarely seen in his time on the Timberwolves. He's shooting a scorching hot 60.8% from the field and 57.1% from 3 to start the year, and his defense has even shown much improvement as well. Along with those three guys, players like Buddy Hield, Willie Cauley-Stein, and Iman Shumpert have all stepped up and played well. This has resulted in the team winning 3 games over quality opponents. Their wins have come against the Wizards, Grizzlies, and Thunder, who are all very good teams with playoff aspirations. Even some of their losses have been impressive, as they only lost to the Trailblazers by 3 points and the Jazz by 6 points, and both of those teams are playoff hopefuls as well. The team probably won't be 500 in the standings for long like they are now, but they also won't be an easy win for opponents every night either. They don't have their draft pick this year, so there's no reason for them to tank. So any team that thinks they can half-ass their way to a win over the Kings moving forward will be in for a bit of a surprise. The final thing on this list of early season surprises is just how out of place Kyrie Irving has looked on the Celtics this season, and how much he's struggling as a result. Yes, he did just come back from a knee injury that he needed surgery on, but he's not really being limited in any way by the Celtics system. He's not on any kind of a minutes restriction either, and he's still being given opportunities to produce. He simply just isn't playing well at all. Through 6 games, he is only averaging 14 points per game and is shooting a dreadful 39.1% from the field and 24.1% from 3. He's made a living off creating his own shot at an elite level off the dribble and knocking down difficult shots in the past, but this year, those shots just have not been falling for him. This puts the Celtics in a weird situation as a result, because Irving has never necessarily been a great facilitator from the point guard position. He's not bad by any means, but he's definitely not focused on creating offense for others. He's a great isolation scorer, so when that isn't working, he struggles to contribute in other ways. He also isn't exactly a great defender either, and at times can be a liability on that end. Brad Stevens has implemented an amazing offensive system to the Celtics, and Kyrie's style of play will only be tolerated if he produces at the insanely high level that he has over the years. If he starts to slow down this year, then Irving might see his role reduced over time. Jason Tatum is emerging as a legit scoring threat, Jaylen Brown continues to improve every year, and the team's bench is loaded with weapons such as Terry Rozier, Marcus Morris, and Marcus Smart. Stevens is going to do what's best for the team, and if Kyrie continues to get in the way of that, then things could get interesting in Boston. If Kyrie turns his play around and finds his groove again, however, then everything is fine and the Celtics become even more dangerous. It's an interesting thing to keep an eye on as the season plays out because Irving is a free agent this summer, and although he's been very vocal about wanting to stay in Boston, things are definitely not set in stone. And with that being said, that's all I have for you today. Make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for more videos in the future. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next video.